Next, on the same theme of creating superior angles, which both work to your advantage defensively and offensively, we want to be able to cut an angle with a step and then adjust it. Okay, so as opposed to just these different planes that we moved in, sometimes they're going to be sharper angles, more compact and concise angles. So from here, one of the simple ones is just being able to, while facing my opponent, just step and then move my other leg into a position where now I'm not facing straight on anymore. Now, as you know, if you have any stand-up experience, that's usually occasioned by your opponent immediately following you. It often may seem like they're following you at exactly the same moment, but if you are able to do this effectively with good timing, you will have at least a momentary advantage, which again protects you and allows you to deliver some offense. So very important skill. So if I'm moving off of my lead leg, okay, again, it's going to be a step and drop that leg back. If it's on the rear leg, you'll see me step out from here for a second. It almost looks like my feet are in an even stance, which isn't good, and I could get steamrolled over, but it's temporary. When I step, it's only in the service, okay, of being able to change the angle here. And often you'll see a little bit of an extra shift with that leg that moved first because it's on the back. So from here, step, I'll swing this one around, and then you'll see a small shift to adjust my stance so it looks the same, now facing my opponent at an angle. Right now I'm showing kind of a 45-degree angle. Sometimes it's going to be smaller than that. Sometimes it'll be just a small step, and it may only be 20 degrees, 30 degrees, but it's still enough to change the dynamic of having myself directly oriented right in front of my opponent. And then we can add a few things to that in terms of the upper body. So from here, it doesn't always have to be just a motion where my shoulders and my hips only turn in this kind of neutral orientation. Sometimes it can be done with some evasive head movement, which we'll be talking about. So I dip my shoulder in a little bit as though I'm, say, slipping a punch. So I would move and step, see if my shoulders dip slightly, and then spin around, okay? So move and step, and then spin around with that slight adjustment. So from here, doing it from the side, okay? Move and step, move and step, move and step, move and step. Slight adjustment when you go towards your rear legs.
The basics of the tie clinch, we're going to understand our control points. We've got a collar tie, which will be around the neck. We've got an inside bicep tie, and we've obviously got an underhook, which most people that do MMA will understand what an underhook is. So our first control point will be our collar tie, or the tie plum, depending on where your positioning is. Your forearm wants to be against your partner's chest, and my hand is not on the neck, because the neck, if Rich pulls his head back, it's really strong. But if I put my hand on the top of the head, now if he pulls his head back, it's really, really weak. So we always want to go to the top of the lever. We always want to try and get double inside position, whether it's around the plum or the collar tie, or around both biceps, or double underhooks. These are always the most dominant positions because I have full control of the inside position of my opponents. So it's super important to understand that when our partner gets an inside position on us, we always want to make sure that we control the elbow point here. When I control his elbow point, for Rich to bend his arm is going to be more difficult, and for him to elbow me with the opposite arm, if I'm controlling the elbow point, for him to pull his arm away and elbow me, I'm going to be very safe. Same thing as if I'm on the inside. If Rich is on the inside of my bicep, I'm always trying to hook the forearm. So that again, I've got control of the inside of the elbow, even though I'm on the outside. So I'm always trying to be here, controlling this elbow. The same thing, trying to protect myself from elbows. So if he is controlling the inside like this, and I don't have an inside control, he can turn any time and elbow me. So I'm always trying to control the inside position, even if I'm on the outside. The last part is obviously our underhook. When our partner has the underhook, most of the time what we try and do is either have an overhook so he can't go around to my back, or I'm trying to keep his hips away from me. So if Richard double underhooks on me, I'm trying to keep his hips as far away from me so that he can't bring himself close and get control of me.
In this class, we're going to talk about the leg hook takedown, a different takedown that takes place from a position called the clinch position. This is what a clinch looks like. Basically, it's a hug in a fight. Hug.
Why would you want to hug in a fight?
Good question. You know why? Tell me.
So you can stay close to them,
What's the value of staying close to them?
so they can't punch you in the face.
Yes. 2 points for Henon. If I'm in the clinch right here, if I'm right here, he don't could possibly punch me. Okay? But if as he's punching me, I step in and I get a hold of him, we're going to teach you how to do that in a future lesson. And I get a hold of him, his punches are very weak, like little baby punches, and I'm okay. So I stay tight. So for the first part of this class, we're going to practice clinch control. We're going to get here, we're going to hold tight, and he don't just going to try to push me off. Now, I don't want to let him get away too far if my hands are weak. I want to hug snug and stay as close as possible. Okay, and I want to try to slow him down. I don't want to run with him very loose. I want to try to slow Hidon down, as if I want to prevent his movement. That's the idea. So as Hidon tries to push me off, we hug, and our base is very strong. Look at my head. My head is on the inside of his chest, or if I was very short, it'd be on his stomach. Okay, my head is on the inside, and my base is good, and I'm hugging tight here. Now, if Hidon was so big, that I couldn't hug and lock my hands, if I couldn't reach my own hand, what do? Grab onto him. Grab his pants, grab his shirt, hold as tight as I can. Just the concept of grabbing and holding someone close is a tremendous principle of defense. Because when you're that close, they can't hurt you with punches. You're safe. Once you perfect this clinch control, which we're going to play that game right now, then you're going to learn the actual leg hook takedown, which we'll see next. Leg hook takedown. You have the clinch, it's tight. They try to push you off for 2-3 seconds, they exhaust, or they don't exhaust. But you have good base, so you're ready to make it happen. You're going to hook their leg, and together, the two of you will fall like a tree in the forest. The key is when you fall, get your hands out. Here's how it looks. So I'm here, clinch with Hidon. Okay? I'm going to hook this leg of his. Which leg do I hook? I hook the leg on the side that I'm standing. I don't hook that leg over there because I'm standing over here. I'm on this side of Hidon. If I was on this side of Hidon, I would hook this leg. And notice how I hook from the outside. So my leg that's behind Hidon hooks, holds. Okay? I'm going to do it on this side. Wide base, please. I'm going to hook, watch, I'm going to hook his leg and just hold it. And together, we're going to fall to the ground. Boom. Hands out wide. If I left my hands connected, I might get them crushed under his body. Not fun. Hands out wide. And then from here, step over and mount. Stay low. Okay? Airplane base. So the key is you must hold that hook. Hold the hook, hold the hook. And sometimes, pinch me please. Sometimes your hook, you actually pick it up off the ground. Hold it, hands. Boom, and you land on them like a pillow. Your chest lands on their chest, hands out wide, and you're good to go. And now Hidon climbs up, 1, 2, and he wins.